And you have to prove both. Once you prove that a trust exists, you can determine from that side of the fence who is the trustee, who is the grantor, who is the beneficiary. And in your fiduciary duty, you can designate, because the position that is most favorable, the position that I am giving to you in this trustee and civics class, the perception you want to take, the path of least resistance, is that you want to take the position of designating that if a trustee has not performed his or her fiduciary duty, then under Uniform Commercial Code, you have the authority to compel them under the rights of use and the right of benefit as being secured party in that commercial transaction, which is a trust relationship. Therefore, the public is deduced into enforcing that public policy. Now, I'm doing my best to try to make this very simple. But again, I'm not here to change your thinking. I'm hoping that this information will cause you to think properly in your commercial dealings. If you have a debit card, if you have a credit card, if you have a checkbook, or if you just dealing with good old-fashioned Federal Reserve notes, what they call cash and all of that jazz. If you're dealing with cash, let's start there. I'm going to step you up. You can identify that you're in a trust relations because the first question is, how did I acquire? The word acquire is a trigger word. When you're dealing with something that you've acquired, you're in the commercial zone participating in an acquisition. So when you're participating in an acquisition, you can also designate that acquisition was really a trust relationship. And you can not only prove that, but you can document that on a tax report, which gives you the ability to convert that commercial energy, convey it back to the trust where you have the fiduciary duty, whether you're the trustee, settlor, grantor, beneficiary, right of use of that commercial energy in whatever form you choose, because once the trust has been proven, this is where admiralty now becomes your best friend. See, they use admiralty against you because you don't realize you're in trust, or at least you haven't expressed it. You haven't said it. You haven't put it on paper. You haven't documented that you were participating in trust. And he who leaves the battlefield first loses. He who leaves the battlefield first loses. So you must stand your ground or stand on your square. And you must know who you are at all times in commerce. Now, again, we're going to go into some of the questions that we covered in on the exam. And hopefully those that have not gotten their test questions back to me, I'm still waiting for those results. But at this moment, I'm going to open up the floor for questions. And I want your questions to be in a direction where I want you to think about trust. And I want you, let's do this, because I'm going to put you in the proper perspective here. Give me an example of a commercial transaction that you can identify as being a trust relation. The question, give me an example of a commercial transaction that you can participate in the public, that you can identify that is a trust relationship. Let's see, I'm going to go down the line and see who should know this information. And pretty much everybody should know at least one example of operating in a trust relation. But I'm going to free pick a person. I'm going to see who can give me an example of that. Give me an example of a commercial transaction that you can identify as being a trust relationship. Now again, I'm going to give you an opportunity. One of the three basic indicators that you are in a trust is that you're dealing with an application, a registration, and a certification. Application, registration, certification. Let's see. Caller, last 4 digits of your number is 9002. 9002. I was wondering if you can give me an example of a commercial transaction that you can identify as a trust relation. 9002.
Yes.
Islam.
Right here, bro.
Islam.
Islam. The application, I guess I was thinking like when you want to fill out an application for a job, or I want to say like, because you're using your social security number.
Islam.
Once you use your security number, I mean, they got access to your trust or your social security.
Islam.
I was thinking that's like a trust, right?
That's a good example. That's a great example. Good job. Islam. Let's see, I'm gonna go down the line and pick one more person. Let's see, who else? Let's see, who can give me an example of a trust relationship. Caller. Let's see, last 4 digits of your number is 6329. 6329. I wanted to know if you would know, or could you give us an example of a transaction in commerce that you can definitely show and demonstrate that you are actually participating in a trust relationship.
Islam, peace and blessings.
Islam.
Thinking about a rental agreement.
Oh, excellent. That's beautiful. Because definitely in those type of transactions, you can easily determine that you are definitely participating in some sort of trust, because the rental agreement deals with the what? An application. That application, if you're dealing with a rental agreement, is going that the information